Katy Perry apologizes to Taylor Swift during her live stream.
Selena reveals why she's taking her relationship with the Weeknd public.
And the real reason Bachelor in Paradise filming was shut down.
What? All that and more on today's rundown. Later on the show, we are giving you guys all the updates on everything that happened with Jennifer Lawrence on that plane and that emergency landing.
There's so much drama in today's show, but we're gonna start this off with all the Bachelor in Paradise drama. So just 1 week after we found out who was going to be on Bachelor in Paradise, we are now finding out that the show has kiboshed, like they've stopped filming because of some crazy drama that has happened on set. Now, we're not sure exactly what happened. Some sources are reporting one side of the story and some sources are reporting the other side. So we're gonna try to piece this together for you as best we can. So the drama traces back to an incident between DeMario from this season of The Bachelorette with Rachel and Corinne from last season. And on the first day of filming of the new season in Mexico, according to Entertainment Tonight, things got too hot and too heavy between these two in a pool shortly after production started. So they got super drunk apparently and ended up naked in the pool together, and a producer claimed that the event went so far that it qualified as, quote, misconduct in the workplace. And we're not really sure what that means, but only our minds could wonder about what that could possibly mean. The producer is now suing the show for misconduct. So a source told ET, DeMario was in the pool. Next thing you know, Corinne comes over and hops on his lap. They start talking and joking. Everyone is just going about their business. Cameras are rolling, producers are everywhere. That's when a third party felt uncomfortable, claiming misconduct. As of right now, production of Paradise is suspended indefinitely. So Amy Kaufman, who's a writer from the LA Times, confirmed that this happened on Twitter and added that Corinne and DeMario didn't have sex, but witnesses say that it felt like, quote, soft porn. So it's very serious.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers is apparently investigating this whole situation. All the contestants have been sent back home. The big issue here that I can gather is that they're worried that consent wasn't given because possibly Corinne or whoever that was involved, we're not even sure if it was her or not.
Might have been DeMario.
It could have been anyone. If anyone in that situation was way too intoxicated to give consent, that there's a big issue there. So this is so crazy because this is one of the network's biggest shows.
Right.
This show is known for debauchery, for hookups, for people getting wasted. Like, this type of stuff happens seemingly all the time. So for someone who is a producer on the show to say this went too far, it must have
been something
really
extremely serious. And if you think about it, DeMario is known for causing a little bit of trouble. Corinne is also known for causing a little bit of trouble. So I'm not exactly surprised that we're hearing about this, and I'm not really surprised that the two found each other.
Well, you know what's funny? I read, I think on TMZ, that the producers basically had conversations with both of them saying that they wanted the two of them to hook up.
Interesting. Well, that doesn't make sense to me then if the producers are setting it up just for it to kind of shut down the show. I really want to know what's happening, and we have to wait for the investigation to kind of see
how it plays out.
Yeah.
Either it went too far, or maybe it's a producer who's brand new on the show who had no idea what he or she was signing up for when you go to Paradise.
Right.
Apparently this kind of stuff happens all the time, so I don't know. It's a big deal if they've shut down the show.
It's really crazy, and we have more crazy stories for you guys. I don't know if you guys heard, Jennifer Lawrence was on a flight and it actually had to have an emergency landing,
Terrifying.
But everything is okay. Very scary. So Jennifer Lawrence was on a private plane Saturday when it was forced to make an emergency landing in Buffalo, New York due to engine failure. The plane was mid-flight at 31,000 feet and one of the engines failed. During the emergency landing, the other engine went out. Despite double engine failure, the pilot did manage to land the plane safely with no engines, and JLaw was unharmed. Thank the Lord. Upon landing, Jennifer and the crew were met by emergency vehicles, and you know, Jennifer was actually flying back from her hometown. I'm just really grateful. Like, 2 engines blowing out and you land the plane safely, she's okay, like, that's a miracle to me.
That is one of my biggest fears in life.
Absolutely.
Every time there's turbulence on a plane,
absolutely,
my brain goes, oh my gosh, are the engines failing? What does that even feel like if you're Jennifer Lawrence and you're on that plane and shit it hits the fan, like what does that feel like? I just want to know so I can know if it happens
I would
to me.
never step on a plane again. And you know, for her as an actress, you have to travel a lot. I would be so fearful. I'm like, you know what? I'm bus touring everywhere.
I was just looking to see in the notes if it was a private. It was a private plane. So it was a private plane, and I've heard that private planes are even more dangerous than commercial planes. More accidents happen on private planes than commercial planes because they just don't have like the checks and balances that the big airlines have. So I guess this goes to show when you see all these celebrities like posting photos on Instagram of their cool private planes, don't have FOMO because the plane could go down.
I'm totally good with Coach.
Good, yeah, me too. So I don't know if you guys have been watching this phenomenon that is Katy Perry's live stream of her over the last 4 days.
Very interesting stuff.
In some fake house, Big Brother style, in downtown LA, and I've been watching it, and it's really wild and bizarre. I mean, you can watch her sleeping, you can watch her interacting with people. I've seen some really awkward encounters of her with YouTubers. I don't know if you guys saw, you know, Laura Lee did her makeup, so did Patrick Starr. You know, Joanne the Scammer was there. I mean, so many people are involved in this whole thing, but good for her for putting herself out there for 4 days, just letting us see it all. But that is not all we're talking about because apparently she has apologized. I don't know if you guys saw our show on Friday, but I was very upset about Taylor Swift releasing all of her music on Spotify the same day that Katy, her album was released. I was so offended by that move, and I'm such a Swiftie, but the fact that it was just so catty to me that she would do such a thing. So I'm definitely upset with Taylor Swift right now, but I do like that Katy is apologizing because I want this beef to be over so we can have a new narrative. So this all went down in an interview with Ariana Huffington on her Thrive Global podcast, and in the chat, Katy apologized to Taylor for their beef and says that she's ready to let it go.
And I love her and I want the best for her, and I think she's a fantastic songwriter. And like, I think that, you know, if we, both her and I can be representatives of strong women that come together despite their differences, I think the whole world is gonna go like, yeah, well, we can do this. I don't know, like maybe I don't agree with everything she does and she doesn't agree with everything I do, but like, I really truly want to come together and in a place of love and forgiveness and understanding and compassion.
Okay, so maybe that wasn't an actual apology, but Katy does say that she loves Taylor, forgives her, and wants to bury the hatchet, and she wants strong women to unite. Then she started singing Let It Go, which is, you know, very on par for Katy Perry. If you've been watching the live stream, she randomly breaks out into songs to describe how she's feeling in the moment.
Honestly, I feel like Katy has been doing a lot of interviews lately, and they've all been centered around Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And I just want this drama to be over. I don't know why Katy keeps bringing it up. It seems, at first it seemed genuine to me, but now that she's brought it up like 4 times, it's like, put it to rest. It's like she's almost poking at Taylor like, hello, are you going to respond? I want to hear what you have to say.
Well, I think Taylor has inadvertently painted her as like a villain, and I think that that's something that she has to deal with when it comes to press. I do think a lot of press ask her about it. I do think she thinks if she just addresses it, that it will eventually go away, especially if Taylor speaks up and says, okay, let's just move on. But the fact that Taylor did this whole thing on Spotify on Friday, it really just kind of stirs the pot even more, and I do think this is Katy being like, Taylor, please, can we please
let it go?
Stop? Like, here's a direct message from me to the press to you. Like, let's stop it. I do agree. I think she has been talking about it a lot, but I think it isn't a true attempt to let this all go.
Well, I hope we do. Let it go.
Let it go.
Okay, so I know you guys have totally been anticipating Life of Kylie. There's been teasers coming out, but now we get extra teasers of everything that we can expect from the show. Are you excited about the show?
I'm not sure. Okay. I think I'd have so much Kardashian infusion into my life that a whole like Jenner series. I don't know if I have time for it, honestly, but let's talk about it anyway.
Well, maybe these teasers will change your mind. So last night, the internet was served with a brand new Life of Kylie docuseries teaser. And in the clip, Kylie reveals she hasn't been totally forthcoming with the world about who she really is. Take a look.
For so long, I've been putting on this different persona to the world. When you grow up on camera, my family's in there. Everybody feels like they know you.
So the 19-year-old goes on to explain that there are 2 sides of her personality. The side that she feels constantly pressured to keep up with, and then there's who she really is.
And then there's who I really am. That's who I want you guys to get to know. When am I ever gonna see you again?
It's draining sometimes, being Kylie's best friend.
As you saw, we also get an introduction to Kylie's longtime best friend and Instagram PIC, Jordan Woods. And from the looks of it, Jordan is about to show us that it's not always easy being BFFs with a Jenner. The sizzle clip ends with Kylie revealing her main goal right now is to live life and never regret anything that is going on and being a teenager. Between clips of Kylie getting ready for this year's Met Gala in New York City to cuddling in sweatpants with her animals, it's safe to say we're ready to see the inside of life of Kylie. Now, I kind of agree with you. I'm excited to see it because I feel like there is only one side that we see of Kylie Jenner. You know, the superstar, the Instagram famous kind of Kylie, and I feel like there is a more down-to-earth Kylie that we've been missing, and I'm hoping that we see that because if we do see the whole Kylie from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it's just gonna be like a spin-off from that show.
That's what I want to see. Is it a docu-series, truly? Because I love docu-series, and if it's like a real new look at Kylie, then I might be okay with that. But if it's just another reality show painted as this in-depth look at Kylie's life and it's the same, I would keep saying over and over again, I don't know if I'm gonna love it. So, I don't know, my verdict's still out on this. I just feel like we're so oversaturated. just so oversaturated.
Just a tad. So you know, she actually came out with a new makeup line, so if you want to go on vacation, there's a new line for just that. Makeup just for you to go on vacation. She teased it on her Snapchat, and I kind of like it because you know what? When you go on vacation, you want a lighter glow. You don't want the heavy makeup, so this kind of makes sense to me.
Is it in travel size?
Actually, it's kind of big.
Yeah, so that doesn't help me at all. Like, I want little things that I can take on vacation.
But it's the light glow, like it gives you that like summer glow.
Oh my gosh, maybe that's a good excuse to just justify spending more money on makeup to my husband. Like, hey babe, it's vacation makeup, it's very different.
Yeah.
Well, Selena Gomez is talking about the Weeknd and her relationship with the Weeknd, and she's opening up unlike I've really seen her do before, especially since the whole JLaw thing kind of exploded in the public eye. She hasn't really talked openly too much. I mean, she's mentioned her boyfriend in past Snapchats and stuff like that, but this is the first time she's actually really discussed it in person, and she did it with Ryan Seacrest, of course, because they're great friends. But I thought this was really interesting. So she told Ryan why she decided to bring her romance with the Weeknd into the spotlight.
I don't feel like there's anything that I would want to not necessarily hide, but I'm genuinely myself. I just think that it's really hard when I would want to spend so much time hiding things, or it's too much pressure. And I think that everybody gets over everything eventually.
So there was this really adorable moment where Ryan referred to him as the Weeknd, and she corrected him and said Abel, which, you know, means it's a real thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, I think there is some truth in speaking what's happening in your personal life to the public. It kind of takes away the sex appeal and the mystery of it all. So the more she talks about it, the less I think people care.
Yeah, and what she said is true. Like, once you put it out there, people get over it. There's new relationships, there's new love triangles in Hollywood that we start talking about. The reason why we've been so intrigued with the relationship is because they haven't confirmed it, and we want to know more details. So by just opening up and being like, yes, this is my man, we're like, okay, we could kind of move on until the next scandal happens.
Oh no. Speaking of Abel, he dropped a futuristic and eerie new music video for Secrets, and the internet thinks that it's about Selena and Justin Bieber. And they think that because in the video, a Selena lookalike is rolling around on a white futon in a shopping mall and hugs a guy who I could see being Justin Bieber.
My love, I ask you what your heart desires.
Let's be real. The girl in the music video looks more like me than Selena Gomez.
It's true.
Like,
I know.
Stop.
I know people are saying that it's the two of them, but I don't know if this JLaw narrative is ever going to go away.
It's not.
I think anything that the Weeknd does or Selena does from this point forward is always going to be speculated, you know, about whether it's about Justin or not.
But I will say, the guy did kind of resemble Justin Bieber, and there was a part in the music video where he like was looking up and kind of giving the Weeknd, or shall I say Abel, the eye, and it kind of brought me Justin Bieber vibes. But as far as Selena, no. But maybe.
JLaw's never gonna die.
It's never gonna end.
Ever.
Ever.
All right, do you guys even watch Bachelor in Paradise? I'm actually really curious because we don't talk about it very often on this show, and if you want us to talk more about Bachelor news, we totally can, but I am curious if you watch it, and if you do, what do you think actually happened? I want to speculate with you guys in the comments.
And I also want to speculate, do you think the Taylor Swift and Katy Perry drama will ever end?
And do you think Taylor should apologize? Or speak out?
She should say something. At this point, like, just say something so we can be done with it and move on.
Move on.
Please.
Let us know in the
What do you
comments.
guys think?
Thank you guys for tweeting me over the weekend, though, by the way, because I was very upset with this whole Taylor move. Like, visual. I was really upset on Friday. I'm never usually that upset on DHR, so thank you for your inspirational tweets. I needed them. And this show is over now, so we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
For more, click left to see Kylie get slammed for cultural appropriation.
Or you can always click right to witness your favorite K-pop group, BTS, cover Selena Gomez and Charlie Puth.